Okay, so we are looking at surface area of cylinders right now. And what that means is, so if I have a cylinder, you would find the area of the top and the bottom, which would be the same, and then the area for the curved surface. Okay, so that would be like a rectangle. So you would have find the length of the curved surface around and then the height. And then you would add them all together. So now we're going to show the calculations.
Cylinder. Okay, so the surface area of the cylinder, right, is the outside of the cylinder, not the volume of how much it contains, but the outside. So there's a formula for this. This is the formula for the surface area. Okay, now let's talk about where this formula comes from. So if we're looking at this cylinder, it has a circle top and a circle bottom. Now, to find the surface area, we're really looking for the area of that circle, which is pi r squared. Notice that right here in the formula. Okay, where does the 2 come from? There are 2 surfaces. So that's where the 2, why isn't this writing? That's where the 2 comes from, and the 2 pi r squared. So hopefully this will work now. There we go. Okay, so then we're going to add that to the cylinder part. Okay, so the tube part. Now, remember when I folded it out, it makes a rectangle. So if you had a soup can, you could cut the label off and you could roll it out, you could measure it, but we can't really do that here. We're talking about the can itself, right? So I'm going to take the surface area all around the outside. And so what am I actually doing? Well, I am doing the circumference of the circle, which is 2 pi r, which is, if we look up here, changing colors here, if we look up here, that is the formula for circumference of a circle. The only difference is the height, and that is what makes it the surface area, because we are including the height of the whole thing. So that's where this comes from. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this because whoopsies, because that is no longer circumference. Okay, so that's where this formula comes from. So now let's plug everything in. So I have the surface area is equal to 2 times pi, right? 2 pi 3.14 times 10, and this is centimeters, this is going to be squared, right? So 10 centimeters times 10 centimeters plus the 2 times 3 point, that's a 3.14, wow, that was horrible, times the 10 centimeters times the 25 centimeters, and I'm going to squish that in there. Okay, so what does that equal? So I have 2 times 3.14, and then I'm going to multiply that by 100, right? Because this 10 times 10 is 100, so it's 100 centimeters squared. So that's multiplied by 100. So this is going to equal 628 centimeters squared plus, okay, now we're going to do the other sides. 3.14 times 2 times the 10 times the 25, which is 1,570 centimeters squared. Remember, like if we're thinking about this in terms of area and circumference of a circle, it's centimeters squared. And then we just add these back together. So 2,198 centimeters squared. And remember that I rounded, so this would be approximately. Okay, so that is where the formula comes from, and this is how we use it.